amazing photographer in the space, and watching her grow has been fantastic. So we'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, we're almost there as we wait for Leslie. I'm going to message her right now. Right on time.
Thank you.
How are you, Leslie? Yeah, we'll give it about a minute before we get started, but how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A little nervous, but doing great.
Nervous? You should be, you're the professional here.
No, I'm having my big drop today, so it just now started. So I hope it goes well.
Oh wow, yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that. I'm excited. I saw some amazing pictures. I watched an awesome video too that you put together. So yeah, it looks like a great drop.
Thank you. I'm super excited for it. I think it's some of my best work, so I hope people like it as much as I do. So we'll find out soon.
From all these likes and retweets that have been blowing up my Twitter past few days, I would say that they're liking it a lot.
Oh, good.
All right, we are at 11:01. We are at 10:01 for Leslie. And for those of you on the West Coast, I think you're at 8:01. So thank you for waking up with us. So yeah, let's get this party started. Again, if you could, I know so we have some people just jumping in, but if you could give that tweet on the top, like and retweet, just so that we get the space out there, that's great. If you find the space in a different way, or if you want to start your own tweet with the space, please do that, so we just get the word out and get people coming in to listen to this amazing photographer who we have lined up. So with that being said, welcome everybody. This is Camera Culture, a series from Well FM that puts the diverse creators of the NFT photography movement into focus. I'm your host, Decryptolorian, and we have a very, very special guest today. Her name is Leslie Spurlock. And before I get into before I even go on with an introduction, hi Leslie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. A little cold, but good. We have a winter storm here, so we can't even go out right now. So, but other than that, I'm doing great.
That's amazing. So yeah,
how are you feeling, DC?
I'm feeling okay. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it was as many nights go. It was an interesting night. So I was able to wake up early and do some work, and then go back to bed. So I am refreshed. I'm feeling okay. It's a little cold here. It's like minus 2 here, I think, today.
Okay, so you're colder than we are.
We're a little cold.
But we're probably in the teens.
The teens are, I mean, hey, for because you live in the region of like Texas, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's unusual to be that cold.
But when I gotta say, because I'm from California originally, and when it gets cold in California, I'm cold. And you know, it may be like the 30s or 20s, but it feels like over in the East Coast we're a little bit insulated, so we don't feel as cold when you go outside as you would in like like the West Coast, which feels it sounds weird, but that's how it feels to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Totally. So I'm excited to see a bunch of people joining. Thanks for joining, everybody. Before we get into it, Leslie, we did a couple interviews with you in the past about your photography career and all that. But you know, I want to spend more time talking about NFTs today, if you don't mind. But
Sure.
before we like jump in, do you want to give like a brief introduction if nobody had you know, if nobody knew who you were, just like a brief introduction of yourself and your time in the photography industry.
Yeah, so my name's Leslie. I'm a photojournalist, documentary photographer, storm chaser, creative portrait artist. I've been doing photography off and on for about 30 years. I covered Haiti 6 times, covered 17 protests across the U.S. in 2020, covered hurricanes, shot weddings for 14 years, and oh, so now I lost my train of thought. Just I stopped shooting weddings January 1st, 2020. I ended up discovering NFTs. I guess it was, I ended up getting into NFTs mid-November 2021. So it's been just a little over a year now, and it's been absolutely incredible. Been published worldwide many times, and yeah, now I'm here.
That's amazing. So you have a very robust background in photography, and I think I used the term photographer. What was it, like a photographer warrior? It was early. It was early. um, but yeah, I think it's been such an so far it's just an amazing career. NFT wise, I think it's, you're just as amazing. I've watched you grow for the past well, it's been almost a year, right? Um, and I've watched you jump into the space, do so much in such a little period of time. Just your thoughts on the journey so far.
Well, wow. I mean, it's been an absolutely incredible journey. I started off thinking I would come into this space, and I was actually just, it was a selfish move. I thought, I saw all these massive sales. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just, come in here and make a lot of sales, and this is going to be great. And it turned out it's not that easy to make sales, but I did discover an incredible community along the way. And that's what really kept me here. I mean, I literally would grind day in and day out. There were times where I'd end up in tears by nighttime and ready to go by morning time. So it's been a lot of hard work. It's been, I've been, trying to be in this space almost daily, at least check in when I'm away and stuff. And it's just, it's been fantastic. I never thought I'd become a collector, and now I'm a huge collector. The artists here are absolutely incredible. The community, I mean, I can't say enough good things about the community here. And it's just been, I never expected it to turn out like this, and it's literally away from my family. It's my happy place. So I just love it here.
Yeah, that's and I think that's why I thought the word warrior kind of stood out to me last night, or I guess early morning, the way the time works. But yeah, it stood out to me because I've watched you do the grind, right? And I've watched you come in and push, and just be around, and do drop. You're constantly dropping good quality work, and you're being a part of the space. So I want to say that the warrior term really stuck out to me. I don't know. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I kind of consider myself a warrior, in some ways. So, I'm one that keeps on pushing forward, and I've been through a lot and come out of things really well. And so, in that sense, I think I'm a warrior. So I like to think of myself as one.
Yeah, absolutely. And a curious question I had for you was, if you had to go back in time and talk to yourself about, let's say you were a month in, into NFTs, and you have to go back in time today, what advice would you give yourself? Because you've been a lot of different places, and we'll talk about those different places in just a minute. But you've been through a lot in the space in a very short period of time, and we always laugh and joke that the space goes a lot faster than the real world. So it may feel like years, but it hasn't really been that much time. But in the space, it's probably years. What advice would you give to yourself today?
Um, I probably the biggest advice I would give myself was to believe in myself. That's something that I haven't always done. So I would definitely give myself that advice. Also, even though I did take this advice, but I would advise everyone to just be yourself in this space and do what's best for you. And don't worry about what others are doing, how many sales others are making. I mean, you see all the sales that people make, and it's discouraging at times. But you just have to concentrate on you and mixing with the community and doing good things for others. So those are the things that I would advise anybody, really.
Yeah, I absolutely love that answer. What about would you change anything that you've minted thus far?
Probably so. I think I minted too much at the beginning. And so I've since burned some pieces and stuff. So I would be a lot more purposeful, like I'm trying to do this year. And, and I, it's been hard to concentrate on the different genres, but I think that's kind of worked for me. But I think I would do smaller drops. In the beginning, I dropped a lot of stuff and went back and had to burn things. So I would definitely do it a bit differently. But other than that, I think, I'm pretty proud of all the things that I've dropped. I've managed to have a lot of sales, which is amazing. But I mean, everything that I have out there now, I'm proud of. So I wouldn't say that, I would take away what I have out there now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Definitely, all of your, like I said in the beginning, all of your work is such, just very, it's quality work, and it's the drops that you put out are fantastic, and it's all, we all do trial and error no matter what. So I think you've I would say I look up to how you've actually gone through the trial and error. Being in the art world myself, sometimes I could tell you some stories when I first started, when it was like, oh man, what the heck was I doing back then? But what I find interesting, and I don't know if you do too, is that the blockchain feels a little bit different than you're just putting out pieces in the real world, because you have that historical information that's sitting there. Do you ever go back and look what you did, or have you not got to that point yet?
Sometimes I do, yeah, for sure. And for me, this has been such a different world because I never really considered my work to be art before or to sell as art before. I've always just done either work for myself or work for clients, and never thought anybody would really want to buy my work just to buy, so this has been completely different for me, and it's been incredible. I do think that's one of the things about my images, I think, is that they do have the historical factor to them, which sets them a little bit apart from all the others. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a bit about your journey. So you started out on Ethereum, and you've made it like a huge presence in Tezos. Let's talk about that for a little bit. How has your experience been with the two different blockchains?
Oh my gosh. Well, Ethereum was really good to me, and then we hit the bear market, and I was still making some sales in Ethereum. So, but it was actually Miss San that I kept seeing his tweets, and he would message me and stuff like that sometimes. And I saw that there's some amazing artists on Tezos, and that there was a great community. So around the time they started doing one-of-ones on Tezos, I think it was like June or July, I finally I had thought about going over there for about a month or two before that, when Masan was really plugging it, but I put it off because it was a different blockchain, a different wallet, and that made me nervous. And then one day I'm just like, okay, I've just got to sit down and do this and figure it out. So I did, and I had already been part of this Tez Tunas group on in DMs, but I never really did anything there. So when I did start doing stuff, when I first joined, I announced to them, okay, I'm on there, and stuff like that, and they are so supportive. And so I minted a one-of-one. It sold within 5 minutes, which just shocked the heck out of me. And then I minted another. It sold. And then I minted additions, and they sold out. And it was just like, it was this whirlwind, and I couldn't believe it. And then there was a community on top of it, And I will say the Tezos community is so incredible and so genuine, and just, they're amazing. They really make it so rewarding to be on the Tezos blockchain. And the art there is absolutely phenomenal. So, I mean, it was a great decision. I've sold a lot. I've been able to collect from amazing artists, even super rare artists, are on there. And I've been able to collect, over 2,000 NFTs there, I think. So it's been unbelievable. And if you haven't checked out Tezos, I mean, there's some great collectors on there, and there's some absolutely incredible artists on there. Artists that, like I said, are on super rare and places where you would never be able to afford them. You can sometimes afford them there.
Yeah, I share that love with you of Tezos and the different artists that are there, and they're plugging away. And the Tez Tuna, what a great community, honestly. I absolutely love those events that come out, like the tunas, or the nature events, and all the stuff that they're doing to push art. I really do appreciate that side of things with Tezos, for sure. A selfish question. So I some of the spaces I love going to the most would be the ones that you do with Victoria, and there's one where they try to get you to DJ. How far how far down the rabbit hole have you gone?
Oh my God. I am such a DJ now. It's so funny. In fact, I just flipped my first, one of my degen pieces that I minted the other day. It was a Lucrece or something like that. And I luckily I bought two of them, and I bought them for 0.0 something, and flipped one the other day for 0.68 or something like that. So it was a great flip, and I'm just like, luckily I have this DM group that is full of degens, and so, and I see Aaron, I see you there. And so they really help me out a lot. And I mean, I've been spending so much money lately on Ethereum on these degen drops. I keep buying them, and so I'm definitely turning into a degen now. Finally, at first I didn't even know what the word was, so things have come quite a ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that that you're interacting with the space, and I think that that's really the true fun of it, right? It's like the more you get into, the more you do, the more you venture out into different worlds, the more fun you have. And I don't know, do you find that the same?
Yeah, and it's actually because, outside of our little bubble, there's this whole other degen world that doesn't have a clue who we are. And so when you get to mix with those people as well, it just broadens everything in this space, and you meet all these new people, and it's really cool. And I'm still working my way in there, but I'm slowly, it's starting, and I'm getting these degen friends now, so it's really cool. I mean, they're a lot of fun. So I suggest everybody ventures out of our little bubble and see what else is out there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where I found the space through games, through gaming, and then went to art afterwards, and there's all kinds of different little places that I'll jump into. Um, Before we get into your the piece that you're dropping and some information there, but uh, is there any areas of the blockchain space that you're curious about that you haven't dug into yet?
Um, Probably. I mean, I do want to look more into DeFi because I just don't understand DeFi at all. And there's other blockchains that I want to investigate that I don't know anything about. And then, maybe look into Solana a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. I do actually have a couple of collectives that I belong to that are on Solana, but there's a bunch of other things that I just don't even know anything about that I'd like to investigate. This whole tech thing, I'm not a tech person at all. So, a lot of this stuff I just don't understand, but I'm trying to learn as I go. So we'll see.
Well, I'd say you're doing pretty good. Yeah, DeFi is decentralized finance is a great thing to learn, especially right now because we're past like the DeFi summer and then the whole bull craze and then the yield farming craze. So I think we've learned a lot in a very short period of time of how to do things and not do things. Although it seems like the human race continues to make the same mistakes over and over again. So I fully expect another round of leverage coming within the next bull cycle. But I think that would be a great thing to explore, and maybe we'll do a little thing with DeFi one day, just talking about it and all that jazz. But that being said, let's talk about the drop you have coming. I did post it to the top, so folks, if you get a chance, definitely like the tweets that I just put up here that Leslie had put out. Let's talk about the drop. So tell us a little bit about what you have planned and what you have going on today.
Yeah, so this is probably my maybe one and only big drop of the year. So this is a drop from I traveled to Northeast India back in end of November, beginning of January, for a couple of weeks, and we got to visit quite a few areas there. We got to visit and spend time with the Apatani tribes and the Angami, and go to the Hornbill Festival, which happens once a year in Nagaland, and you get to see the tribes perform there. They come together in a gesture of peace there for the Hornbill Festival, and then after their performances, you get to go and mix with them and stuff like that, and talk to them, and it's just the a thing about like with the Apatani. So the Apatani, the elder generation, they still have the nose plugs and the tattoos on the women. And once that generation dies out, that's the end of that. So it was great to be able to preserve that culture, what it used to be like, because it won't exist after this elderly generation dies out. And most of the ones that have this facial tattoo and the nose plugs, they're in their 80s, 90s, and 100s. So, it's not going to be around much longer. And the younger generation, it's now illegal to do that. So you won't see that again. And just to spend time with these people from these tribes, and learn about their history. They have no written history like the Apatani and stuff, and so it's all based on what they remember and everything. And they were just the kindest, most welcoming people ever. And it was just amazing to spend time with these people and learn about their culture. And so that's what this drop is about. There's actually 169 images, mostly people. It's a combination of color and black and white, mostly black and white. And there are some landscapes in there. But I made it that many because I went back and forth. Do I do a small drop and just up the prices and, just make it more exclusive, or do I make it a big drop because I think I have enough images for a big drop, and make it affordable for people? And so I decided to go with the latter and make it affordable for everyone. And I hope everybody likes them. All of these, to me, are my favorites, and they make a beautiful metal prints. I mean, I have 5 metal prints of these now, 24 by 36. They're hanging on my walls, and they actually, I'm super proud of them. I'm proud of this work. It's, I think, some of my best work ever. And I'm actually also going to be giving away a metal print, probably not that size, just because it's going to be a pain to try and ship that, especially if it goes to someone overseas. We tried to ship, while we were there, we stayed in a homestay, and we met a family that owned the homestay. And so we shipped a small box of toys to them from the US, and it cost us $600. So I don't think I'll be shipping such a big metal print overseas if that person wins, but so that's why I'll have to make it a little smaller than that. But I will be giving away one of those to one of the holders. And yeah, I mean, I hope everybody likes them. I'm proud of them, so I hope you'll be proud to own them.
Wow, that's so far. There's a lot to unpack. So that's amazing that you how long did you spend? Did you say how long you spent with the folks?
Yeah, it was a total of 2 weeks over there.
Wow, that's I think I remember. So I remember seeing you put some screenshots of your hotel room. I think, which I found to be very interesting at the time. If I'm getting my facts straight, but yeah. So you spent 2 weeks. Did you stay with them, or was it you go hang out and then you head home to your hotel?
Yeah, I did not actually stay with them, although that's what I actually would like to do. And apparently, they do offer homestays in Zero, where the Apatani were, but I did not know that. So I actually stayed in a hotel, which was probably for the best because they don't really have toilet facilities and stuff like that. And so I don't mind roughing it at all, but it was nice to come back to a very cold hotel room, but a hotel room nonetheless. But we did stay in a homestay in Nagaland, and that was amazing. The lady running it was just incredible. But the homestays have several different rooms and stuff like that. So it's not like you're really staying in the village in a home, which is what I'd ideally like to do someday. I want to go to Borneo, and I want to stay in the longhouses. I want to stay with the people. So hopefully I'll get to do that on some of my other trips, because I think that's the best way to really dive into the culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there a particular story that struck you the most out of your time there?
A particular story. Let me see. Not necessarily a particular story. One of the things I did photograph, which was very hard for me to photograph, but I knew it was part of their culture, and so you have to respect that. I did photograph an animal sacrifice that made me cry afterwards. So that was extremely hard to do, but like I said, it's part of their culture. And I have this hurt foot, and so at the Hornbill Festival, in Nagaland, at the homestay, this lady that runs it, she had this traditional doctor come to work on my foot. He did a great job. I mean, he put me in a lot of pain, but then afterwards it felt better. And then the next day I went to the village, which is where he lives. And he was a performer in the Hornbill Festival. So he came back, and my husband hadn't seen him before. I said, "Oh, babes, that's my doctor. He's dressed in his, tribal outfit and stuff like that." And he was hilarious. And he was working on my foot in front of like a crowd of people. And I was screaming and yelling expletives, and they were laughing at me, and it was hilarious. It was so funny. So that was kind of fun. But just hearing about the different cultures, talking to the people and stuff like that was just so fascinating to me, and their history and stuff like that. And we watched them. They have this one ceremony, a big festival that they have in March in Zero, and but they prepare for it like for months beforehand. So they were doing this tree thing where all the men in the village from all the different like factions, I guess. I forget what the actual name is for it. The different tribal areas. They would all get together and they'd walk miles and go into the forest and cut down a tree. And then they'd have to haul it back. And then there's a halfway point where all of the village women and other people would meet them and provide lunch for them. So we've got to go there and have, they fed us lunch and way too much rice beer. They keep making you drink rice beer because they wake up drinking rice beer. So, and that's their thing. So at the point I was like, no, please, no more rice beer. But yeah, so that was fascinating to watch. And then they all end up, dragging this tree back to town, and then they put it up and stuff like that. It becomes this pole and stuff, and there's a whole story behind it and everything. But anyway, so that was really fascinating. There were just so many different fascinating things.
Oh, it sounds it, and yeah, these are the type of stories that I love. I mean, this is why you do the things you do, right? It's like finding out what the folks in their culture, and getting to spend some time with them and really take the time, because I mean we're living in a world where technology is taken over, and we don't spend the time to really focus on anything anymore. It's always like stuff coming at us in every direction. So I mean, did you even have did you have access to a cell phone while you were there, or were you just out there doing your thing?
Yeah, internet was really spotty there. In fact, I was supposed to do this. I was part of Foundry, and they were doing, the classes and stuff like that, and I couldn't connect for that. I was supposed to be part of Sean's big drop, where he photographs different artists, and I had to miss out on that because I couldn't connect. So yeah, I mean, my service was. It was really hard to get service there, especially to do anything besides just like Twitter or something like that. It was really difficult, but it was so funny because the first night that we were with the Apatani, we went to this house where they served us rice beer and stuff. They were cooking the rice beer. They all have these like open fires in the middle of their house, and they cook their rice beer and stuff on it, and it helps keep them warm. And so there was a lady that was in her late 80s, and then another one that was in her 90s, and the 80-year-old was on the cell phone, and that was just so funny to me to see that this lady with her nose plugs and everything else using the cell phone, and it was funny.
That's crazy. Oh, I love it. But I gotta. So I imagine you ate with them a lot. What was your favorite food? I'm sure you had enough of rice beer. It sounds like. But what was your favorite dish that you tried while you were there?
Well, mostly what we ate, like pretty much every time we were with the villagers was tali. So we didn't really eat much else in those areas. So actually, it was nice to get away from tali for a bit. But tali was the main thing. So it's like, how do you describe tali? Like you use your hands too to eat the food, and so you have a bunch of different, you have sauces and all sorts of different stuff, and you wrap it up in like, you know, like in some sort of bread type thing. And so that's mostly what we ate. But when we were at the homestay, and then at the, you know, at Nagaland, they serve dog and stuff like that, and worms are another big staple there. We did not have any of those things, but the tali was actually good. Some places the tali was better than other places, but that is primarily what we ate.
Are there any recipes that you'd make at home?
You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love different cultural foods, but the tali to me was somewhat bland in a lot of places, and I liked like extra spicy. They did have some spicy stuff, so whatever the spicy one was, I would like to make again because that was really good. I'm very much into, you know, hot spicy, and it was so funny because we had these two guides with us, and you know, they were like, "Oh, this is spicy, this is spicy." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, guys, this is not even close to being spicy." I mean, I'll eat in fact, they bought a ghost pepper for me, and you know, I ate it raw, so they were like in complete shock. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I share your love for spicy food, and it always cracks me up. So, side story: when I moved to Vermont from California, you know, being in California, they love the spice. You know, people were saying, "Geez, you know, this is spicy food," and I'd take a bite, and I'd think it was so bland. You know, and you know, years later, we're still kind of there. So I go in between bland and spicy, and I try to add stuff, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But it always cracks me up at the difference of different regions and cultures.
Yeah,
um,
for sure.
so, if you had to pick, so this is one heck of a collection. If you get a chance, maybe you can share some of your favorites out of the collection. I don't know if it might be hard though. I don't. It's always a weird question to ask. Like, what's your favorite out of photographer? What's your favorite shot? Maybe you want to share a few, and then we'll talk about them.
Yeah, I'll try. Unfortunately, I get rugged if I try and share stuff, so that's why I don't usually share stuff. But I definitely have a few favorites. Most of them are of the Apatani women, and this one man, this older man, he was amazing. We went to his place, and most of there was a time where I was photographing mostly just elderly women, and I asked my guides. I said, you know, I need to photograph some men. Where are all the elderly men? Well, most of them have either passed on or they're homebound. So the one of my guides remembered this one he had photographed because he's a videographer, a great videographer. So he knew exactly the things I was looking for and stuff. So he remembered this elderly man who I saw on the internet actually that he is a priest. I didn't realize that. No one told me that until I saw it on the internet the other day. And but so we visited with this elderly man, and he was incredible. He was so happy to put on his old tribal outfits that he used to wear back in the day, and he sang for us. And you know, there was a time where he was in like his kitchen area, and because it's so cold there and there's no heaters, you know, he had this vapor coming out of his mouth and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And so that's some of my favorite images come from that. And also this other elderly man that we went into his house, he always brags that he was in a Bollywood film. So there was a shot of him that I just love. And some of the Apatani women, like the one above, those are some of my favorite shots. I fell in love with the Apatani, the Angami too, but especially the Apatani.
Wow, I can't wait to see them. Are those posted yet, or are those coming?
Um, well, they're all in my drop, and I've posted them in the past. And if you go to my spatial gallery, which thank you, CJ Meta Events, for putting up my spatial gallery. It's absolutely incredible. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. They did a phenomenal job, and even like the whatever it's called, like the up above stuff and on the sides, that's one of my landscape photos. And so you can see a lot more of the collection there in my spatial gallery. They did an incredible job, and the video promo is also in there as well. And yeah, I mean, it's amazing the job they did for me on this.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love looking through spatial galleries. Have you ever been on a spatial gallery with the VR headset?
No, I have not. I need to try that. That would be amazing.
Oh, it's so much fun. When before Spatial got into the space, okay, here's a fun fact. Before Spatial got into the space, they partnered with me and a few other people to kind of test out their NFT functionality. And yeah, I jumped into the headset and was placing NFTs and making them bigger. And it's really cool to do it in VR. And I'm sure that your photography looks amazing in VR. So I might have to check it out in the headset.
That's so cool. Yeah, I need to get a headset and try that. I haven't tried it yet. I'm still like a newbie to, going around spatial. I still fall off into the abyss sometimes. So, but yeah, I definitely need to try that.
Absolutely. If you like music and cutting cutting things, blocks and stuff, you should try that Beat Saber. That's one of our fan favorites over here.
Awesome. I'll check that out.
I am scouring the your Twitter right now to get a link to the space. So if anyone sees it here, just send me a message and I'll post it up at the
Yeah,
top.
in that one tweet, I think it's the second tweet you did up above. If you scroll down, I was having such difficulties today because of this winter storm and my video wasn't posting. So it's actually a 3 or 4 long tweet. Set of tweets, and there's a link to the spatial gallery on that thread.
Awesome. I am going to find that right now. Let's yeah. So tell us about the mechanics of the drop, just so people know what to expect.
So there's, like I said, there's 169 images. It's 0.05. So, and these are all one of ones for that price. So it's a really great price. It's a blind mint. I didn't necessarily want a blind mint, but the way that Foundation Drops works is that you have to do a blind mint. So it's a blind mint. Obviously, the reveal will come pretty quickly if it sells out. If it doesn't sell out, I'm probably going to do the reveal within a day or two. And I think that, I mean, I haven't been in there and I didn't set it, but I think it gives you the option to purchase in packets. So you can do like 1, you can do 3 or 5 usually. I don't know. I'm assuming it's giving you that option, but I don't know because I haven't actually even been in there today. And yes. I think people have already started minting, so that's cool.
They have, yes, absolutely. I am actually I'm loading up the spatial right now as we speak. But folks, I did put the link to the spatial on there, and also there's a link to the drop. So it is a blind mint, like we said. I don't know. You didn't like the idea of it blind? I kind of enjoy that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love collecting for them. I just worry because I do have some landscapes in there. And so I just don't want people to be disappointed. That's my biggest fear, is that people are going to be disappointed with what they get. So I want people to get something they like. So hopefully they will.
Absolutely. So here's my thoughts on that. So it all. I have the worst luck, but for art and photography, that's pretty awesome. And I do see people walking around your space right now. That's awesome. It's like, how could you go wrong? For art. But if you don't get the one you want, you just throw it on the secondary and then go shopping and find the one that you like.
That is true. That's true. And I've actually always gotten pretty lucky with the blind men. So I actually love them.
Oh man, I don't think we'll talk about my bad luck. It seemed like, because I get invested in a lot of NFT projects. Whether it be PFPs or whether it be art or different mechanics. I do really enjoy the whole idea behind it's something interesting that's going on the blockchain and something unique. But I continue to have like the worst luck when it comes to getting something that I would actually change into my profile pic. so I just continually create my own.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, the first time I ever did a blind mint was for Keepers of the Inn with Julie Pacino. And I didn't even realize it. I had posted about it and she saw and she said, "Oh, you got one of the rare ones." I'm like, "Oh, yay, me." I had no idea it was rare. I never can even tell what's considered rare. I still can't tell what's considered rare unless the people that are dropping actually tell me it's rare. So but yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been pretty lucky. So I was very lucky with the Sebastio Salgado one. I'm thrilled with those.
That is awesome. Yeah, I gotta say, so I'm just walking around your gallery right now, and folks, if you get a chance, definitely go into this spatial gallery. It is absolutely amazing what they put together. This is like next level. I haven't been in spatial in a long time. Back when I went in, there was like a few options that you could choose from, and it was kind of like a generic space. But this is looking very, very awesome. And these pictures are fantastic, Leslie.
Thank you, thank you. I'm super proud of them. So I hope everybody else likes them.
Yeah, what an exploration and celebration of culture here. I mean, I'm looking at a fella who has this amazing headdress, and like, wow. I mean, so he was. I don't even know if he was dressed up like that. How did you set up these shots? Because honestly, did they dress up for you sometimes, or was it just like this is what they wear?
Um, well, a lot of the time, like all the women and stuff, that's just what they wear. Like there's an elderly man who, like I said, he did dress up because he wanted to. He was proud of his old traditional outfit that he used to wear, so he dressed up. There was one with the huge headdress, and that guy actually he dressed up specifically for us. And then there's a lot of others that were already dressed because they had performed at the Hornbill Festival, so they were already dressed from those performances.
And that is awesome. I'm just about to post this. I'm just writing it now. Yep, and yeah, there is one particular shot of this gentleman who is sitting in his house, and it's kind of, there's some shadows. It's a little bit moody, and there's some light coming in through the window. wow, what a shot. This is some amazing work.
Thank you. I think that's probably the Bollywood actor. So, and all of these elderly men are, in their 90s and stuff. Literally, we won't see pictures like this again in not that long. So, I mean, these are going to be part of history. So it's so cool that I was able to get these shots while they were still around.
And well, I do like, folks, I welcome you to go check out this gallery and check out the mint and the blind mint. If you're lucky, I mean, you'll get one, and then you'll get something that's unique and awesome, and you'll love it. But yeah, if you look at all the photos, these are fantastic. So congratulations, Leslie, on this. It is a great drop for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we're rounding up on the last 10 minutes. So I will drop. We have a POAP for people who came and listened to the space. So if you have your POAP app open, there is a secret word to. Sorry, I'm looking at Vic in the space. There is a secret word to type in. To go and get that POAP. I apologize for POAP's unique way of making sure that bots don't get the POAPs because I'm not a huge fan. But you got to go from I guess it's like you got to get to 1,000 in these numbers when you're clicking the bubbles. So the secret word is, let me just pull it up here so I'm saying it right. It is photojournal. Just photojournal, one word, photojournal. So go and type that in and then click a bunch of numbers and bubbles, and then you'll get your amazing POAP, which is animated and includes some of Leslie's work, which is really cool. Yeah, so while you're doing that, Leslie, do you want to do I am enjoying this type of stuff. Do you want to do like a quick fire question session?
Yeah, for sure. And I always suck at those numbers, so I'm not even going to get my own POAP because I kept failing the last time I tried to do that.
Don't worry, I will send you a link that will have the POAP for you, so you don't have to type the.
Thank you. I know I tried like 6 times once, and I messed up every time. And I'm like, oh, this is just ridiculous.
Oh man, I was very close to failing. I tried it just to try it out today and make sure that it was working right. So I did it like 10 minutes before the space, and yeah, I failed like 5 or 6 times and had like 2 lives left, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and, I mean, clearly I know my numbers, so I shouldn't be failing. But you just click the wrong thing, and boom.
Oh man, and just to give you some comments on the space, there are a lot of people like in Spatial right now who are saying what a great space, what a nice gallery setup here. So yeah, I'm sure you'll be on just checking it out after the space. So yeah, again, this is quite something. Very very good setup here. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, they did a great job.
Okay, quick fire questions. Tezos or ETH?
Oh gosh, for the community, Tezos.
And for the ETH side?
I mean, I love both of them. They've both been good to me, and I love both of them. So I really can't even choose. I mean, I will continuously mint on both for sure.
I love that. Blockchain that so you mentioned Solana. Would you still do Solana with drama?
I've been hesitant because of that, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'll actually ever do like my own mint, but I'm happy to be part of a collective over there again. I think I'm on like at least 2 collectives over there. I haven't been over there in so long, so I don't even know how to get to my collectives anymore.
Let me think here. Something missing from NFT art right now.
Ooh, something missing. More photojournalists. Please come. I need to collect photojournalism.
What would you like to see in photojournalism? What type?
I mean, I want to see some of the truly great photojournalists come over. I've been talking to Ron Haviv because he's my mentor. I would love to see him come over. I would love to see also more NFTs for good, for charity, and stuff like that. I love to collect those. And so hopefully we'll have more and more of those as well. But I'd love to see more female photojournalists. That would be amazing. There's some absolutely gutless, I mean, just brave, brave female photojournalists out there. And I would love to see some more of them come over.
That would be amazing for sure. I would love to see it too. And when you find those, let me know.
I will definitely.
Um, Here's a good one. New technologies you might like when it comes to art. So think about like AI or generative art. Would you ever get into something like that or try to do those type of things?
I mean, I might experiment with AI. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to perfect my own craft, so I don't know that I want to try and perfect something completely different. But I am using AI a little bit because I'm using Chat GPT. And so I love that. And I'm using a program called Topaz, which I used to use Noiseware before in Photoshop, and now I'm using Topaz for noise because sometimes, my images, I don't use Flash or anything like that. So sometimes they're a little bit noisy. And so I'll use a program called Topaz and it helps with the noise. And that's an actual AI program. I don't think it used to be, but it is now. So I'm using those type of tools. And I love this Chat GPT. I actually used it to help me with the descriptions on this top. So and it did a good job. I mean, I put most of what I wanted to say in there, and it would just make the sentence sound good.
Oh, I actually love that because we had a conversation about descriptions when we did our first interview a while back, and how we're both really bad at trying to figure out how to come up with descriptions for stuff. So using
Yes.
chat, what a great use of that.
It was great because I hate descriptions. I hate doing them. I'm terrible at them. And I had to come up with 169. And so I'm like, let's just try this chat thing and see how it works. And it also came up with the title. Unfortunately, and it came up with the main overall description. Unfortunately, with Foundation, I had to cut down the title because it makes you have a certain, whatever. You can post too long of a title, and for the description it limits you to 500 words, so I kept having to redo it and redo it and redo it because mine was way longer than 500 words, but it sounded so great originally.
Wow, that is impressive. I think that is a great use of the tool for sure. I love it. Something missing from your NFT collection, and then something missing from you as an artist. Like, where do you what is a place that you want to go to and take photos of, or an event or something?
Well, I definitely want to go to Ukraine. I wanted to go there from the beginning, but now I want to go there hopefully this year. And I want to do some personal stories there. I want to explore more cultures that are dying out. I definitely want to go to New Guinea. That's top of my list. And I want to see the Northern Lights. I've never seen them, just for a fun thing to do, because I think they're so beautiful. I'm not going to try and make these fabulous images because there's already, people doing that and doing that so well. So I just want to see them. It would be amazing. But and I'd love to go back to the Amazon too. So I have a long list of places I want to go, people I want to see, and things I want to do. So, I'm trying to scratch off as many as I can. So I've been fortunate enough to go now to Arunachal Pradesh, which is what, this is that series above. And that was on my bucket list actually for at least 15 years to go there. So, and so was the Amazon. And I've had the opportunity now to go to both. So 2 things off my list so far.
Absolutely amazing. If you find the Northern Lights, let me know. I've heard that you could see some of the Northern Lights from parts of Vermont, but it's freaking cold. I need to find that, like, where it's at, and then do some research like Arwen does. Like, where to go to find the Northern Lights in Vermont?
Yeah, because I was in Vermont and I looked that up actually, and there is a place you can go there to see them supposedly.
Oh man, yeah. I definitely, I haven't done my research. I did see one heck of a meteor shower here when I first. That's a long story, but when when I first came to Vermont, I did see a meteor shower. It was awesome, and that was the most stars I've ever seen in my life. If you can imagine, this Cali kid, growing up in kind of the city, but not really. But yeah, noise pollution is a thing, right? But yeah, wow. So yeah, one of these days, if the weather permits and I dress really warm, maybe I'll go check them out.
You would hate where I went to, because just because of the fact that it's not even any colder than Dallas gets, but you can't escape it because there's no heaters in your rooms. So, and everything is cold, so you stay cold constantly. And we were so glad to come home and have a heated house. It was like the little things that you take for granted, and then when you don't have access to that, it's like, oh my gosh, I miss heat.
That is absolutely true, and that could be said for a lot of things, right? It's like when you don't have access to something that you're used to, man, does it become an issue, right? Even hot water. I mean, there was places where I've lived where we didn't have hot water for almost a year, and then I said to myself, I will never live like that again. But yeah, I mean, we do take a lot for granted, and these folks that you went out and you did all this. This research. I posted another shot of yours that I find absolutely beautiful with the lighting out here. Folks, you definitely have to check this gallery out. But yeah, I mean, there's so much culture here. There's so much to learn and see and view, and just experience, and love. And honestly, we could do this from our house. I mean, I'm in Vermont. Leslie's over in Texas right now. There's people all over the world that's listening to the space right now. You could do that right from your home. So you should definitely go check out that gallery and see this amazing work. It is quite something. And experience these people's culture. I mean, honestly, like you said, Leslie, this may be the one of the last chance, to experience this.
Exactly. And that's why I want to photograph these people before we don't get to see them anymore. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, we are a little bit over. I will say that we do have some POAPs left. So there's a total of 50. If you get a chance, I know you got to go through the clicky button thing, but the code is photojournalist. Wait, no. Let me get back. My mind is a little bit slow. Photojournal. That's it. Photojournal. One word altogether. So definitely go in and type that POAP code. Get the POAP. There's a few left, so definitely grab that. And Yeah, Leslie, this has been fantastic. Is there anything that you want to leave folks? Words of wisdom or or something coming up. I mean, the drop is perfect. What a great time to be doing a drop. Before we go,
Not really. I just want to first thank you for doing this, especially considering your night you had last night. So I really appreciate you so much for this. And I just want to say to everybody, just, I'm so glad you are all here in this community. It's so nice being among all of you, and getting the chance to interact with everybody. I just want to thank you for that and for always being so supportive. And let's just make this the best year we can, and let's move this space forward in a positive way, and bring change where change needs to be made.
absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And honestly, Leslie, it's been a pleasure watching you do your thing. The past, I want to say it's almost a year, but it's probably been more like 6 or 7 months. But we will get to a year rather quickly, the way time flows. But yeah, it's been great. And this again, the first time we talked. And folks, if you hadn't heard the first interview with Leslie, I mean, wow, just some amazing stuff. And this is not the last, but this has been a fantastic interview for sure. And man, it's been great. It's been wonderful. Thank you all for coming, and
Yeah,
thank
thank
you,
you all
Leslie.
so much.
All right, and with that, folks, again, check out the gallery, check out Leslie's drop. I'll be walking around, so say hi. And yeah, we will be doing. I think we have next, just to throw out, Thursday. We're going to have a space on security. So if you're not familiar with security, or if you have some questions, bring them. We're going to talk about security in a different way. So it's not so much like, hey, do this, and then you know you're going to be great, because that's not how this stuff works. It's more like change your mind, and it'll give you some better perspective.
Of India lies the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and Nagaland. There are 145 tribal communities within those states, each with their own culture. I had the opportunity to spend time